giving you a slice of unapologetic conversation. Welcome to Straight to Tape. My name is C. Perry II, the Mr. Fantastic. Podcasting's Fantastic Four. First, the comedian, professional joke slinger Tico de Gallo. What's good, Tico?
Well, y'all talk it. I live it all day, every day, especially on a Sunday, and especially on a Tuesday, and especially
Tuesday.
on my birthday, and especially when I say hey. Anyway,
Mm.
I'm sorry. So much hip hop this weekend. It just
Oh my goodness.
bubbling. It's just
For
bubbling over on
real,
me.
for
Just go ahead.
Oh
real.
my God. Oh my
Just
God.
pass it. Go ahead, Key. Just take it. I'm sorry. It's too much hip hop. I'm bubbling
Yeah,
over.
but of course, we'll get into that. And then, of course, the First Lady Vesuti, the quintessential hip hop mom, Keisha with a Y. What's good, Kay?
What's up, y'all? It is Keisha with a Y, aka Hip Hop Mom, aka should be hip hop tuckered out, but I'm not. And your mom's favorite mom.
Word. And back in the house, you can catch him on Intelligently Ratchet Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And you know, he is our favorite permanent guest host. Ladies and gentlemen in the house, it is the Bishop Omega. What's good, Bishop?
Yo, man, can I say this right here? Enough about
So
me. I'm just here. I'm just here to just fellowship. But when I say, yo, that new intro and the new little graphics and everything, welcome back, straight to tape, back to the.
yeah.
Listen. Now, I don't like being left out of shit. So I need y'all to go back in. I need y'all to put one on the weeks I come in. You know what I'm saying? Now, y'all ain't got to put a forever one, but real small. I need a little vignette with my picture next to me talking. But nah, man. Thank y'all for having me back on, man. I'm glad you guys are back. How was your vacation?
Beautiful.
Beautiful,
I'm with you on
beautiful.
that. We need to go ahead and put that picture, especially that one when you had that Montel Jordan jacket on. That one.
This is how we do it.
The Montel Jordan one, or one of those Detroit style uh suit short suits. Okay.
Short sleeve joint.
Should we have the short suit one up? I mean, which
Hey,
one we want?
man. Hey, we got to put the one. If it's gonna be a short set, it's gonna have to be the one I wore to the poo show. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be that one, the one that
No,
matched with Keith's sneakers.
that
It
one
sure did.
was crazy.
Hey
That one was
Bishop, go in the bathroom
crazy.
and switch clothes with me.
Right? Yeah.
Keisha, she saw a pack of Newports out there at the
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
at the wood
Damn, we
show.
should have grabbed that picture. Yeah, dude, that
Oh,
dude had on a shirt that looked like a pack of Newports.
Mm,
straight
yeah.
mentholy.
And he was skinny too.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Pack,
real
pack,
skinny.
pack, pack, pack,
The
pack,
100
pack. Turn
Slims,
him on his
bro.
head and pack, pack, pack.
The
Yeah,
100
mad,
Slims, bro.
mad skinny. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting conversation today. As you can see, this is the Rappers Are in Danger edition of Straight to Tape. We got a nice panel together to discuss that issue, especially with the latest murder in hip hop. Okay, but you know how we get, you know how we do, ladies and gentlemen. You can catch Straight to Tape Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch. The audio version of Straight to Tape, which is powered by Acast, you can catch on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. That means Apple Podcasts. That means iHeartRadio, Spotify,
All of them.
Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, all of them. If you want to check out Straight to Tape, you can check them out there on all of them. Okay. Please make sure you're following us on our social media platforms, IG, uh, Twitter and Facebook, Straight to Tape. And we got that YouTube channel, S2T Media. Make sure you're going by, make sure you're hitting subscribe, and make sure you are make sure you're hitting the notification icon so you can be in tune with your favorite podcast.
Yes,
So
yes,
yes. So before we get started and before we talk about what we did on Saturday, guys, just share real quick the Sunday experience at the album release party for Diamond D.
Well, it was one of those hip
I
hop.
wasn't prepared
I'm
for
sorry, I
that.
was waiting for
This. Go ahead.
the trimmers to come down.
The
Look, man,
Tremors.
you know what I'm saying? Like when you flash back, it was like one of those moments like you just waiting for it to swing down, right?
Mhm.
So let me tell you, man, there was so much hip hop in there, man. It was ridiculous. Uh, Diamond D was doing his thing. I think he really felt the vibe, what was going on in there. He was rocking. DBS, always. Sasson, always. Scotty, always. Yo, let me tell you, I had a great time, man. I saw some old friends, saw some old hip hop heads, b boys and b girls. So it was a lovely evening, man. Very lovely.
Nice. And Key, you said you wasn't prepared. I mean,
No, I mean
were
I
you?
knew it was gonna be hype, but it was like super hype and
Mhm.
um I won't tell that story. But anyway, yeah, it was there was a lot of people there, like Tico said, old friends and new friends, and just all love. Although I did hear there was a fight like after I left
Yeah, that happened though. Yeah, I was
at the
outside. I
door
was like at
at
the
in the
door,
front.
and I just saw two girls. They was like talking to each other, and then all of a sudden, it's just, this little scrappy
Fisticuffs?
stuff.
Was it
Yeah,
fisticuffs?
it was
Fisticuffs.
fisticuffs. But let me tell you,
Pat, pat,
I
pat, pat,
wasn't
pat.
as I wasn't as
Skibbity
excited as I
pass.
was when
You
I was
didn't get in the
a kid.
middle?
No, 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 no. Let me tell you,
Oh.
I wasn't excited as I was when I was younger because back in the days, you know what I'm saying, that back in the day a titty would pop out or something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? That when I like to see a girl when I like to see girls fight, I like to see a titty pop out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Or an ass cheek or something. None of that popped off. And y'all women, y'all with these new bras y'all got and these waist
Sure do.
trainers and
We
shit,
know
these
better
motherfuckers
now.
be popping these shits be staying sturdy
You
and
got
shit.
to
Yeah,
hold it
yeah,
down.
they hold that
Nah,
motherfucker
pretty
up,
much
man.
they being wrestling unitards. They
Yeah,
just come
man.
out and
Oh
it just
yeah,
look like
man.
WWE.
It's like superheroes and shit. Like damn, like you want to see Wonder Woman titty. You see that motherfucker about to pop
Rustling.
out, but it ain't gonna pop out because
Rush.
you know what I'm saying. It's just super spandecky.
It's
You know what
not.
I'm
It's not
saying?
about what you want, though. It's not about
Huh?
what you. Trying
Span
to. One of them
Decky.
women is trying to handle. Both of them
Span
women is
Decky.
trying to handle their business. Okay,
I'm
even
not
though
worried
they
about it, you
shouldn't
know what
have.
I'm saying.
They should not have handled their business at a business.
Right.
However, they're not worried about what you want at that time.
Oh, women, go back to
Spandecky.
wearing loose garments. It's about to be, you know what I'm saying?
And Bishop. And
Listen,
this weekend you had the Beats and Bars Festival.
can I
how
say
did
this
this
right here?
year's version go?
Tired. I am tired.
It's
I am
Tuesday.
tired. I do not want to see not another festival until next year. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right here. The Beats and Bars Festival, we had the whole American Tobacco campus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So 11 o'clock in the morning, we were at the cage. You know where the cage is by the D-Pack is a basketball court that they have.
Mm-hmm.
We played dodge. They had dodgeball there. I commentated dodgeball, which
Did
was
anybody get hit in the face?
listen. Yes, yes. Oh my god, man! I got hit by a dodge. They was throwing they threw the dodgeball so hard that it hit me in the knee, and the bass in that joint reverberated around the whole joint. Yo, the dude almost hit me. So I did dodgeball, and then we had other activations like we had empanada eating contest. We had a piece eating contest. It was, sipping paint. They had cornhole tournaments and
You said
stuff like
what? You
that.
were
Did
sipping
you
paint?
say
You was
sipping
sipping paint?
Sipping
paint?
paint. The sipping, you don't sip the paint, but you paint and sip. Sipping, well,
Oh,
paint and
Oh,
sip.
oh,
You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
okay,
Oh, well,
okay.
I mean, you
You
were
okay.
don't
like
sip,
you said
Yeah.
sipping paint.
dodgeball
Mhm.
empanada eating competition, pizza eating competition, and then sipping paint. We just
And sipping
assumed
paint. But and that's just the daytime. Then we had the main show. We had a fashion show. So like I think 5 designers came out and walked out, which was dope. Shout out to the designers and stuff like that. Man, it was a time, and I hosted a bunch of stuff. That means a bunch of walking, but hey, it was free. So next year, y'all come out. I looked up one time, man. I knew we had about 300 people out there, easily.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
dope.
so at one time. So man, it was really dope. So shout out to Beats and Bar, shout out to Crystal Taylor for throwing it together and having me host this year. And again, we're gonna do it again next year because they like us. So y'all come back out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Hopefully we don't have a whole bunch of shit going on. Oh yeah, and then right, Ron, Reg, we gave Campus Hill a gold record. So we, you know what I'm saying? We shout out,
Oh wow.
the whole Campus Hill came back, man. It was dope, man. I got to see them brothers or whatever. And then Friday, we went to the Diamond D set with the Crisis and the beat battle and all that stuff. I went there and seen everybody. I ran into Pat. I ain't seen him about like 7 years. So I ran into him, chopped it up with him for a minute. Yeah, man, it was dope. It was dope, man. It was, like I said, I was full of hip hop in the last couple of weeks myself. So, you know what I mean? It's been a full day of a full month of hip hop for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And trust me, you know, the rest of the hip hop weekend, we will definitely get to, because of course you know how we like to start the show, okay? You know, we take a look at what's been going on in the news over the past week in a section of the show that we like to call the headline grab.
Well, Vanna White that. Vanna White.
So let's take a look at one thing that's been going on. So check this out. Controversy over migrants flown to Martha's Vineyards by Florida Governor Governor DeSantis. Okay. All right. So this past weekend, 50 migrants from Venezuela were flown from
refugees.
Florida.
Let's call them refugees.
Yep,
because they were seeking asylum and they had been granted asylum.
Exactly, but here's the whole thing. Okay, here's the whole thing. You know, sometimes we have this habit, or some people have this habit of misrepresenting these people as illegal aliens, and that was not the case.
Yep.
That was not the case. Okay.
Yep.
But they were dropped off in Martha's Vineyards. Okay. And according to the ones that were talked to, okay, they were told they were headed to Boston and Washington. Okay. They allege that Florida officials manufactured an official looking brochure using language from the Massachusetts Refugee Resettlement Program, in order to represent that they were being moved to a location to be helped. All right. For housing to be provided, for clothes to be provided, for stipends, job placement. Okay. And that was pretty much not the case. They were, they were sent, to a area, to a city that, are one of those sanctuary cities, one of those sanctuary areas, that take immigrants. All right. However, you would think that the state that they're being moved from would coordinate that effort with the sanctuary area that they're going to, and that was not the case. Okay,
so they came from Texas, right?
You need to count.
Yep.
We need to
And
count
this,
because
Right.
white folks is
Yeah.
white folks they hunting for fun. They rich white folks hunting for fun. I've seen this movie like 4 or 5 times. They hunt for fun.
But they originated in Texas. They
correct.
flew them from Texas to Florida for a photo op, and then flew them from
Mhm.
Florida to Martha's Vineyard.
Correct. Correct.
What was he doing in
And
Martha's Vineyard? That like why was that the staging area so they could shoot him?
So here's my theory, right? And
Oh, that yard.
there's so
Yeah.
many extremes in, like, a human crisis shouldn't be a political thing at all,
exactly.
but it
Mhm.
is, and that's all it is. I don't really think that either extreme side of the right or left even care what happens to these people, right? They're mainly political pawns. So I can see kinda DeSantis and those like-minded governors. For most states, it's out of sight, out of mind. So you have far left Democrats who want to manufacture all of these laws and rules around this and pour all this money on it, but they never see how an influx of 50 people that need resources in a small town like Martha's Vineyard affects that particular jurisdiction.
Right.
I get it. So he's just being an asshole. I guess trying to show them, this is only my theory, just trying to show them how their border states' everyday lives are affected by this continuous influx of people.
Right.
I get that part.
Right.
But again, these people had been already granted asylum.
Mhm.
They're not
Mhm.
illegal immigrants. They'd already had their paperwork signed and signed off on or whatever.
They got juked.
Yeah.
So
On
basically, what they did was a stress test. They said,
Yeah.
"Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do an influx." You ever seen Bar Rescue? You know how he just brings in like 300 people and just like
Yeah.
we're gonna do a
How y'all
stress
gonna
test.
handle this? How y'all
Right,
gonna handle this? Right.
right? And
Y'all want to help all these people? Here,
Right.
help them.
and really when you know what I'm saying, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do 50 people, then normally it's gonna be a place like Dallas, Texas. It's gonna be a place like that can handle the influx of just 50 people. Martha's Vineyard is just a well-to-do place where rich people play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly. But see,
From
you
what
got to
I
understand.
understand.
You
So-
got to understand. Go ahead, Bishop. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you was making a point.
You got to understand, man. Like you just said, they got cars and they got, you know what I'm saying, they're good. But when you put in people that don't have those resources or that transportation, then as a city, right, you have to make, or a town or whatever, you have to make resources for those people, right? So with that, does that down the value of Martha, you know what I'm saying, venue, if they have to put bus terminals there, or some means of transportation uh, uh, for those that
Don't
don't
they all
have
just
cars.
drive golf carts?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't even know how big
Look.
how big it is, or how
I'm
small it
going
is,
for the
but
Black
that's
Film
yeah.
Festival next year.
freaking funny though, Keisha. That's freaking funny.
They do. I'm serious. I think
You
they
know what
do
I'm
drive golf carts.
You know what I'm
Um,
saying? Do you get one? Do you just, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you get like
No,
you
Comes
get
with
they
your
got
house.
a
they got
shack
golf
and
cart rental
you get a
places.
shack and a
rental
cart? You know what I'm
places.
saying? They like
Yes,
you
sir.
know what I'm saying? 40 acres and a mule. You get a shack
I
and a
want
cart.
mine to have rims on it.
Ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Look, okay. So right now, this is nothing new, okay? Because if you look at what Texas Governor Abbott, has been doing with, with the, with the migrants that's come over his border in Texas, which is a heavy influx for, since the beginning of the summer. He's taken the opportunity to bus them to Chicago and bus them to New York and bus them
Didn't
to
some
DC.
Didn't some come here? Did some come
Uh,
here?
I'm not sure. I'd have to
I'm
check. I don't
sure it
think so.
trickled
Yeah,
down up in here, young.
yeah, I'm
Who
sure.
knows, yeah.
But but
We love our
you
migrants,
know,
though.
yeah, but here's the whole thing.
Treat them
He's been doing that since the since pretty much the beginning, of the summer. And yes,
Mhm.
Can
it
you
is.
imagine what that group text looks like? Can you imagine what their group text looks like? I mean, come on.
That's like
That's
that's
got
like that's like that's like that movie Me, Myself, and Irene when Jim Carrey was in the grocery store and all he had was like a newspaper and a piece of gum and he was about to go and the girl came up to him and said, "Hey, you mind if I get in front of you?" You know what I'm saying? And she had like a candy bar in her hand. And he was like, "Well, yeah." And then like he said, "Come on, kids," and she bought like 4 carts of just
Right.
groceries. You know what I'm saying? To you, that's exactly how that is. Like, yo, here you go. Yeah, let you in front of you. Oh, by the way, here's like 4 carts of, you know what I'm saying, uh,
people.
people.
Of
Yeah,
migrants
Yeah.
that
exactly.
Well, look.
we're gonna say we're here illegally.
Mhm.
We're gonna put
But
that.
but truly, the biggest problem with this is um, this one still all goes back to this country never being able to get their immigration policy straight
Right.
and
It's either
viable. Okay.
extremely left or extremely right. Like
Yeah.
again, it shouldn't be a humanitarian issue, should not be political.
Right.
Exactly. But now you have
Immigrants gonna be
the
immigrants.
yeah, but now you have these governors, okay? And look, left, right, whatever. These are Republican governors that are sending, that are doing this. To be honest with you, as a political stunt,
Mhm.
I look at what especially in the case of Ron DeSantis, with with these 50, with these 50 Venezuelans. Ron DeSantis is running for president in 2024. Okay,
Mhm.
he is, there's no question about it. Okay, and this is yet another way for him to make his base happy and raise more money, because right now he is raising plenty of money
Mhm.
for the for the reelection campaign for governor, and to prepare for running for president in 2024. And
Mhm.
about 2 hours ago,
Uh-huh.
the and this is reported by Axios, that those migrants are filing a class action lawsuit
Go
against
ahead.
Governor DeSantis.
So
Okay.
Let me ask you a
Riddle,
question.
go
I want
ahead,
to ask you,
Bishop.
sorry, Keish, but and this is for the whole thing. DeSantis, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
where do they come from? Where did DeSantis come from? You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like, you know what I'm saying, it seemed like it's
It
real
ain't
your
Jones
skin folk.
or Johnson.
You know what I'm saying? Your skin folk ain't your kin folk. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking is he Italian? And because I'm thinking of anybody that has a D lowercase e, then it's,
You name racist you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know
You name racist
yeah,
you.
I mean,
Yeah. I feel you though. I feel exactly what you're talking
you
about.
feel
Yo.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, man.
It's
That's
shoot.
bugged out, yo.
That's
Yo,
bugged out. You know what I
to
mean?
use
Hey.
people like that, yo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. And and look, it's a stunt that we just need to prepare ourselves to see
All of his
and
great
again.
grandparents were born in Italy.
Italy.
Oh, okay.
Italy.
Exactly.
It's Italian.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
He's
That's
Yeah.
Italian.
okay,
Mhm.
cool. He's Italian. Okay.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right,
Right
guys.
on, totally on.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the next subject. We were talking about how full this weekend, beautiful weekend of hip hop has been, and the the crowning achievement, the high point of the weekend.
Whoa, Perry. I want to stop you. That's not beats and bars.
Oh.
No.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
not.
No,
I mean,
it's
with all
not.
that achievement and all that
It,
stuff, it's not beats
it,
and bars.
We
it's
let we
not.
let we let
I
Beats and
mean,
Bars go
we let
first
you
though.
shine. We let you shine for that.
We
Exactly.
let
You
you
know, we
go
let you
first.
shine for that minute.
Exactly.
I'm
You know
saying
what
all
I'm
those
saying? We let you
accolades.
I mean,
shine.
we
You
could
know,
have
all
put
those
you at the
We
accolades you
let
get,
you
the
shine
very
for that
crowning,
moment.
end.
Which
crowning
was
achievement.
hosted by
Mm.
the great
You know,
host himself, Bishop Omega. But
I'm
no,
saying This is a
New
Cuban
York-
link, easy. It's a Cuban link
Yeah.
with some Cuban zirconians. But go continue.
Cuban Zirconius.
Lord. Anyway, the New York State of Mind tour invades the Triangle. So on Saturday, the New York State of Mind tour, headlined by Nas and the Wu-Tang Clan, hit the amphitheater in Raleigh. Okay, we were there, and I know some of y'all that are listening were there or have had a chance to catch it in hopefully had a chance to catch it in your nearby city. Guys, initial thoughts of the show.
Straight getting shorted, but I enjoyed it.
How so?
I've seen Wu Tang 5 times, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Let's see, Nas thrice. No, just twice, I think. So Buster was added to the show, I think, to accommodate for the fact that Method Man wasn't with the Wu. However, like during Saturday, after I made my show day playlist, it was never announced, but there were internet rumblings that Busta wasn't going to be there. So upon research, find out that he had a date in the UK on that Saturday. So we didn't get Busta. We didn't get Surprise Method Man, like the Norfolk date and the New Jersey date. It was good. I really, really enjoyed the format. It made me feel like we were watching some of those old Motown reviews where they do like interchanging the songs and the groups, and they would do a transition song, and then the other group would come out, and instead of like Nas going and finishing or Wu-Tang going and finishing, and then somebody closing it out. So I enjoyed the show. It just wasn't the best of either of them that I've seen.
Right. I thought it was like he said, me and Key, we all went out together. So we had a great spot, you know what I'm saying? That little blanket I had wrapped up, that was huge. Was that was
It was
bigger. It was way
Yep.
bigger than I expected.
I didn't get to take my festival couch, so I'm gonna have to figure
Yeah.
out how to use that.
So we had good seats, and we enjoyed, we all, wherever we go, we always have a good time.
Mhm.
So but Key was right. It was like frequency, right? You feel the frequency. We all know that Nas is, is lyrical. So he doesn't have a whole bunch of dancers or nothing like that. Matter of fact, he had no dancers. You know what I'm saying? It's just one mic. You know
And
what I'm
him.
saying? He told you in the fucking song. He told you, but you
All I
just didn't
need,
listen.
all I need is
All I
one
need.
mic.
All I need
All I
is
need.
one mic. That's all he told you. But motherfucker didn't believe him. So, I knew what I was going to get because, you know what I'm saying? We opened up for Nas. Matter of fact, me and 12 Dreads, we opened up for Nas at Kamikaze back in the day. That's a whole nother story. He thought
during
he was
the
girl.
during the Illmatic days, but that's a whole
Like Flex
whole
there,
different story.
Chico.
Yeah.
Flex
He tried
on
to
them
talk-
Chico.
Wait
holler
a
at my chick. He
minute.
tried to holler at
Wait
my
a
chick.
minute.
That shit was
Wait a
crazy, yo. That shit was
minute.
crazy, yo. But anyway.
Perry, where
Yeah.
did
Like
you
Flex.
sit?
Where did I
Where
sit?
were you? Yeah.
Okay, so I was under. I had it. I
Of
had a seat.
course.
I wasn't
Was
on
it
the
like
lawn.
close? Was it close?
It was close enough. It was close enough.
Did you cry?
You talking about when
You got a little
when
misty?
when he performed "The World Is Yours"? Of course, I got misty. It's my favorite Nas song. Okay, it's my favorite Nas song. I mean, y'all, if you're
light skin, bro.
shut up. If y'all are regular listeners of Straight to Tape, you know my story about the first time I heard "The World Is Yours," and it was before the album came out, and I
Is that your
cried.
first
I
time
ain't
seeing
gonna-
it? No. It can't be. You saw him with Mary J. Blige at Red Hat, right?
I have seen Nas numerous times
Okay,
that I
okay.
can't count. Okay, the only other person I've seen more than Nas has been Jay. Okay, so I've seen
really?
that. Yeah, really. I've seen Jay at least 15 times in my
I
lifetime.
have seen the Roots
Okay,
that many
yeah,
times. Probably
yeah.
more. I think I've seen the Roots
Yeah.
20 times in my lifetime.
But with Nas, even though I missed the last 2 times, but even before then, I had already seen Nas in double digits.
Right.
Okay, he's
Mhm.
my favorite. He's my favorite artist. So yeah, I mean, I'll say this. All right, what the Woo set, the Woo portions were fun. Okay,
They were.
Yeah, they were extremely fun. They hit on a lot of their hits. Ray and Ghost, who God, how many times have we seen Ray and Ghost? All
Mhm.
right.
Why
And I
Ray?
think
Why
I
Ray
think for
look
the
like
show
a?
they leaned a little more on them.
Which
Yeah,
The
they which
villains.
they
they
should
wanted to
have.
make they
Was dope.
wanted
Which
to
they
make
Yeah.
should
Ghost
have.
the sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like I
He
said, with
is
frequency.
sexy.
No, I'm saying with the frequency, right? But
Mhm.
he's, you know what I'm saying. I take it. I guess, you know what I'm saying, on a whole nother level. I take it because meth brings that energy, like boom, 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 boom. It was
Mhm,
like
mhm.
Nas, and you supposed to have
Yeah,
Buster
yeah, yeah,
or,
yeah,
or or
yeah.
somebody to bring that energy up to
That
another
energy.
level.
Yep.
Bam, and then it
They were
comes
all
down,
like they're
and then
all
they
like
all. So it was just
they're
like
all like this. Yeah.
and
Nah, you're
like
right.
that.
I get it.
So you feel what I'm saying?
And I don't recall it being this way, but the I remember, and anybody in the comments or you guys tell me if I'm wrong. So I've always had this theory, and somebody may have told me this a long time ago, but whatever.
Mhm.
That the sound, you pay for the sound. Like a group pays for the sound. So that's why when you like go to a show and the opening acts, they don't sound as good as the main acts, right? And the sound gets better and better as you go on and on in the night.
Mhm.
I get that part of everything. But Walnut Creek's lawn sound used to be way fucking better
Better,
than it
yeah.
is now. So it wasn't like it just was not resonating. Um it sounded like kind of clock radio-ish to me. But
It's hard. I don't do the lawn, so it's hard for me to
I
speak.
love the
Excuse
lawn.
me,
That's
excuse
what
me,
Ooh,
I'm
talk
saying.
your
excuse
shit.
me,
I
Christopher
I think
Walken.
I've
Excuse
I
me.
know. Christopher
He
Walken.
said, I don't do the lawn.
I don't do the
He said, I don't
lawn.
know how
So.
that. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Out
pin
of
the
that's Christopher
scale.
all the
Walken's all
many,
day.
many times I've been to Walnut Creek, I think
Mhm.
I may have bought no, I didn't even buy it. Somebody gave me a seat ticket once. I always sit on the lawn. If there's a lawn, I'm on it anywhere, all the time.
You know what I'm saying? No lawn tickets,
Mm.
ass niggas.
Fuck
But
Perry.
no, the
Look,
sound
fuck
used to
Perry
be
and that. Look, fuck
much
Perry and that
better.
motherfucking. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse
Excuse
me.
me.
Right,
Pardon me.
right.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I
Excuse
gotta
me.
I gotta
Pardon me.
drink too
I
much.
gotta
I gotta
drink too
pee
much.
too
Right. You know
much.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Fuck
Do they still
y'all.
have like excuse me, right? Do they still have the little like VIP tables up there in that section?
Up
Because
front.
they do.
I say this normally they do. I know I didn't pay attention to the front like that this time, but normally they do. Okay, because
Mhm,
I know the
mhm.
last couple of shows that I went to seated.
Now I would do
You
that.
know, yeah.
I would do that, but I don't
That's
want
three
to
and some
be
change,
like
young.
if I can be outside, I'm gonna be
That's
outside.
three and some
Outside,
change,
outside.
young.
It's all right. You got it.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, like I said, I
Enough
enjoyed
of
every
that
minute
shit.
of it. I yeah, I
I said
enjoyed
enough
every
of that shit.
yeah. I enjoyed every minute of it.
That is.
And especially, especially the crossover portions. Okay,
Mhm.
when you
Yeah, the
got to
transition
hear,
songs.
yeah,
Yes.
when you got to hear Nas and Ray and Ghost do
Mhm.
verbal intercourse,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and and then when they got together, and did my favorite hustling song from back in the day, Mob Deep's Eye for an Eye. That
Mhm.
man, look, that just brought back, too many memories that I am past that we are past the statute of limitations from, that I still won't share. So
Yeah. Let me tell
Oh,
you. Let me tell you.
I
If
had my finger ready.
if that motherfucker would have brought that AZ, I'd have been happy.
oh man,
I'd have
dude,
been happy.
dude,
When that
dude,
motherfuckers
dude.
did fucking damn phone tap, I would have been I would have been
But when I tell you I was sore on Sunday from getting up and down and up and
Mhm.
down and up and down and up and down, and
Mhm.
my arms would do rapping, rapping. I was
Oh yeah,
rapping all night.
because that's the
Rap,
hip
rap,
hop
rap,
arms. You
rap,
got to.
Yeah,
rap,
yeah.
rap, rap.
And actually, I had my last bathroom break was the worst timing. Okay, because my last bathroom break, the worst timing. I walked out. I mean, RZA was on stage, so
Mhm.
Mhm.
I walked. when he used bathroom and was walking back, and they were doing, that, who's in here that was born from the, in the 2000s, who was here that was born in 1990, who was here that was born in 1980, who was here that was born in 1970, and when you said 1970, the whole place just, you could hear it, just,
But the 2000s was pretty strong though.
They were. Yeah,
the boy ended up working at Benny's that night. And so he comes in, and me and Joe were in here, and he was like, I hate Wu-Tang fans. And we were like, excuse us? You know that Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, right? And Wu-Tang is for the children. So he said some white dude came into the pizza place, and he was super, he had gone, the pizza place is downtown. So a lot of people went downtown after the show. So he went in, and the dude was like, you know who Wu-Tang is? He's like, yeah, my parents went to that show. And he was like, yo, he was naming off all the group members, how excited he was, and asking him, did he know? And like Josh didn't know one. And he was like, oh, but Meth wasn't there. And he was like, who? He was like, Method Man. And he was like, who? My kid's 18, 19. Yeah, he listens to rock music. He listens to rock music, right? So dude, the white dude told him that he needs to learn more about his own culture.
Wow.
But I listen to the music that we invented. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Wow. So, yo, that's a jab to the mouth, though. That's not a hard jab. It's one of these shits. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, Ma, if I was not at work, if I was not at work, I would have come pick me up.
I wish I would have said, I wish I'd have been like, yo, come here, sit your punk ass down.
Shut your bitch ass up.
You know what I'm saying? You go to one Woo show.
Right. No, but like, especially around us, there was tons of little like 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old white kids.
Let me tell you what
that's Woo's bread and butter.
Can I tell you what I really enjoyed? Let me tell you what I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed listening to Woo and Nas kick their lyrics, and I love watching white people spit the lyrics. And then when they say nigga, like I like watching to say who's gonna say nigga.
If they're gonna look around,
you know what I'm saying? That's fucking hilarious. Like
I don't have that much focus.
No. I was like that fucked up, but you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know what I'm saying?
I was just that stuck.
You know what I'm saying? I was just looking at white folks in front of us, and I was just looking at them. They were just bouncing like, oh shit, Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, this is my nigga. And then I was looking at them, I was like, but they didn't say it. They were like,
they were good.
Yeah, I think most of them have developed a way around it.
That self-censoring, which trust me, it comes in handy.
Any parent does it too. So
yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not had a chance to catch the tour, if it's coming in your area before the tour closes, because I see our man Reg, he's gonna be at the Hollywood Bowl on October 4th, and he's going to be
that's
there.
A nice venue.
I'm coming over there, Reg.
Yeah, so
we
get it. Yeah,
we coming.
You get a chance. You get a chance to check out that show. Make sure you check out that show. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our headline grab. Now, next, we definitely want to get into today's topic. Rappers are in danger. So last week we had something. Before we get deep into it, okay, let's bring some more heads into the equation. Now, first, I gotta bring in. Look, he's straight to tapes, social media assassin. Okay, so I got to bring my man in. You know what I mean? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. For the Double Deuce, it is Rob the Actual.
Good evening. Good evening.
What's up?
Hello, boo. Hello, boo.
The part of Eddie Kane, David Ruffin.
Don't make me put you out this stream. You just got here, nigga.
And
just
Bobby Brown.
You just signed on.
By one Rob the Actual. How are you?
What's going on, Rob? Hey, yo, that's a good looking hat there, Playboy.
Hey, listen, bro. We
late. We ain't got time for this.
Okay. Listen. You don't tell me what we don't have time for, ma'am. Okay. All right. All right.
Gone.
She ain't got the button.
Soon as he-
Come on,
She gave her the button.
He just
Oh,
Listen,
God.
Don't be late and talk shit.
Bro,
Don't be
shit.
late and talk
my,
shit.
my Eagles won last night, damn it.
We-
Okay. All right. Okay. In grand fashion
Well, you
at
should
that.
have been here on time to talk about
So-
that. Introduce the guest, Perry.
Them
Well,
Damn
books.
it.
Them
I
books.
got my joke off.
Okay. All right. And look, and joining us for this conversation, look, he's a longtime friend and supporter of Straight to Tape, producer, podcaster. He's
Photographer.
got photographer. He has he has some very, very interesting stuff in the chamber. And of course, very knowledgeable. Okay. And look, this is family. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deveron Benjamin to Straight to Tape. What's good, Dev?
Hey,
What
friend.
is good, Dev?
What's going on? How you all
Hello,
doing?
Yeah.
hello.
Good to see everybody. I'm definitely one of your biggest supporters. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Dev.
No
What's
Sweet
going
baby.
on, Dev?
And I have a podcast, but we're sort of cousins of you all because we sort of watched some of the things that you did and we grew watching you all. So I just want to thank you all for that.
That's
You're
what's up,
welcome.
man. It's all about
Thank
the
you. We
Benjamins,
appreciate it.
baby.
Well, thank you.
What's going on, Dev?
I can't call it. Just getting older day by day.
Well, man, let me
Yeah.
tell y'all, man. Y'all don't
My
understand.
dad says I can't call it. So as soon as
Well,
that fell out your mouth, I knew you was
yeah.
getting a little up there.
Look here,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Me
getting
and, me and Dev go back, man. Me and
We
Dev,
all
man,
are.
we go
way
way back,
Way
man.
back.
Exactly.
Yo,
Perry too.
that's
Way,
right, man.
way back.
All of us.
Oh yeah, everybody
It's the
pretty much.
music, man. The music that bonds us all together, man. Beautiful
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
And one of the main things we definitely want to talk about today, with Rappers Are in Danger. Last week, we had the murder, which is exactly what it was, the murder of PNB Rock. PNB Rock was a Philly rapper, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. Murdered at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in LA.
Mhm.
And it's such, I'll say this, it's such a bad feeling just because it's another murder on top of another murder, especially when you're looking at the last at the last 2+ years. Okay, we lost young Dolph. Okay, we lost Trouble. Okay, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg of some of the young some of this generation's hip hop artists that we've lost through senseless violence. Okay, losing losing Nipsey and then losing Pop Smoke right right after that. These were strong voices for this generation of hip hop. Hip hop is getting murdered is not a new story. Okay.
No. There's
Yeah.
actually a whole Wikipedia page that is basically a tracker for murdered rappers, right? And it starts in 87 with Scott LaRock. Since then, there have been 59 rappers murdered, including one in Greece and one in India, I think. They are all shootings except for the dude in Greece. He was stabbed to death. But it's heartbreaking, particularly for not only fans, but this latest situation. Like, he was just out living his life, right? He was just out living his life. Now he definitely was flossing, but
Mhm. But that's what
that's
Big
what he
Pun
talks
said.
about in his music.
Yeah, but that's what Big Pun said. Big Pun said it. I think it was
You ain't got no
legit-
Enzy Mikasa.
Yeah, no. He said he was talking about, yeah, it's a shame that he got murdered, but he understands why he got robbed. You know,
Not big pun. Not well.
I mean,
Hold
not
on
big
a
pun.
minute.
I'm sorry,
Hold
not
on.
big pun. I'm talking about Fat
Woo.
Joe. Sorry, my
Fat
bad, my
Joe,
bad,
Fat
my
Joe,
bad, my
yeah.
bad.
Oh,
I
she
mean,
had
he
a
was talking from
hologram.
you're talking from the grave.
in
You're
the
talking from the
middle of
grave. You're talking from the
living, living,
grave. You're
baby,
talking from the
wow.
grave. I'm sorry, talking from the grave. I meant Fat Joe. I meant Fat
Mhm.
Joe. Yeah, he said he
get you.
understands why he got robbed. Like you know, he was flossing about the new chain he had got, right? This, that, and the
Mhm.
other. And I think his girl at the his girl had posted like, yo, we at the, you know, at the Roscoe's and and you know, LA, you know what I'm saying? It's a different world, man.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's a different beast. Um,
Yeah.
and you got to understand, I don't know. The lifestyle is not my lifestyle, but I understand. It's just bugged out, man, and it's a shame. It's a shame because there's a lot of more young rappers that's out here trying to do some things and just getting caught up in this
Mhm.
wheel of just
Mhm.
violence, man.
I look at it like this. It's the, you know, when we look at these tragedies and of these young men being killed, like I think PNB was only 30 years old, but
Yep.
we got to look at it like this. You know, I remember like being coming down here from Philly to North Carolina, and this is you know what I'm saying, and me getting robbed or whatever for my chain and everything like that, right? And me having a mentality that, yo, I'm from Philly, none of these country niggas down here can touch me. Like, this is my mentality. I'm
Right.
16 years old, 15,
Yeah.
16 years old. And I took the whole summer job and brought me I still remember this, 24-inch Cuban link, I think it was 3 to 4 millimeter Cuban link with a nugget gold chain
Oh,
on
you
a
got
black t-shirt. I'm walking around Durham with the chain sitting on. I'm 100 and maybe 20 pounds soaking wet, right? I look like a target.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now, you wasn't gonna pull it off my neck because I, you know what I'm saying, I'll rumble you, but you know what I'm saying, I could have got myself and my man in some bad, you know what I mean, in a bad situation if I wouldn't have gave it up at the time that I gave it up, right?
Right. Yeah.
But it's like this. You have to know, and what I was doing was this right here. If you would have put me in Philly during that time, I would have never I would have had my chain tucked till I got to where I was at. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But you thought
I,
you didn't recognize your surroundings. Like you
I
didn't.
didn't
They were
respect. I didn't
unknown. Yep.
respect that you
Respect
could be
them. Yep.
fooled anywhere, right? I didn't
Respect.
respect that you could be
Respect. Yeah.
fooled,
Right.
right? And it's like this. Yes, you know, yeah, bro. Don't come to the hood with in a Maybach and $200,000 worth of jewelry.
Yeah.
That's for red carpet. That's for your videos. That's for when you back home, when you on your block, when you
Yep.
protected by your peoples.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And it's like this. The thing about checking in, like some people like, I ain't gonna check in nowhere. Well, yeah, bro. I mean, it's cool. You don't have to check in because ain't nobody looking for you. You're not a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But if you can go to places like LA and things like Chicago, these
Right.
places, you got to check in with some of the OGs or whatever to make sure you safe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or you just fucking live like a regular person for a day,
right?
and
Oh,
go
just
out
take
to
it,
eat. You
like
know what I'm saying?
go
Take
out
your
to eat
shit
with a
off.
hoodie. Go out to with a hoodie on, a Nike
Right.
sweatsuit, and still go to night and still hit Roscoe's and get your autographs, show your love, and you're not fooled because
Yeah.
people trying to blame Shorty for showing the shit. But I was like this, like at the end of the day, if you a real street dude, if you from the streets, and someone comes in and you on that stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't the streetest cat ever. But if someone comes in with $4 million worth of jewelry on, I'm making some calls to some real, like, hey, yo, man, this dude in here with $4 million worth of jewelry on. Come eat. Maybe I get a cut off of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. It's really that bad in these streets like that. So it's like this. When you out there shining out like that, cell phones work. This ain't 96 when
Yeah.
Pop can show up somewhere and it's like he can have all his jewelry on when you got to make a rotary call and shit and you got to wait for the connect and then talk to the operator. And then by the time he out,
You gone. You out. He's out.
he's gone.
You got to run down to the phone booth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
You
Get some
run down to the
change.
phone
Get
booth,
some change
page
first.
3 niggas.
Right.
It's 3 niggas already on the phone. You got to wait until they.
They don't
get
have
finished.
GPS, so you got to give them directions. No. You make a left there, not a right.
You take a left. You know what I'm
These
saying?
things take time.
and then it's like this. It's like this. What we got to realize is that when we grew up in hip hop, we didn't know our rappers. We didn't know them. They were superstars. It was like, yo, if Nas came through and walked through Durham right now, you will pass out. Like, oh shit, I saw you be so starstruck that boom, he's protected automatically, right? Because you don't want nothing to happen to him because this is the guy you see on TV. But now with social media, you seem closer to the person, and when they
they're more
seem
accessible.
human and they accessible, then guess what happens? That other part goes away. It's like, oh, now you can be touched. You bleed just like I bleed.
Yeah.
And now, unfortunately, these things happen. And then we got, I can go into but I'm gonna let somebody else talk because I can go into the conspiracy theories and all that stuff.
In fact, Dev, I got definitely want to hear from you on this because you even stated. I mean, when I approached you with this topic, you definitely wanted to talk about it because as a person that's grown up in hip hop, not just grown up in hip hop, but grown up in hip hop, stone's throw from the Mecca. There from now Rule, okay. This hit you almost personal.
Well, it hit me personal because just like Keisha said a little while ago, I remember when Scott LaRock got murdered. I was like 16 years old. The interesting thing about 2022 versus 1987, I think the one thing that sometimes gets lost in the conversation is the mirrored realities.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, we're talking about something that was birthed technically in the streets. And even though they might not have had all of the guns, but they did have knives, there was still crime.
Exactly.
There was still murders. There was still these activities. Sometimes when I get into arguments and debates with some of the brothers that are my age, we're sort of looking at, we look at hip hop sort of like it's monolithic.
Right.
And the reality of hip hop had all kinds of layers when we first began. So when we was doing music or doing production in 85, 86, or 87 on a 4-track, you might have one rapper that will come in and he might be rhyming about his girlfriend. You have another rapper that comes in, he might be rhyming about the fact he can dunk better than someone else. Right. Then you might have that one dude that might be talking about the streets. But overall, it was a fair picture for what the realities were.
We had a balance.
The only thing that we're pumped now constantly, and we know it, for the last 25 years, really heavy, is the violence and the sex. And I want to say this so anybody that's watching this podcast understands something. Back in the 80s, most of the gangsters that were there, because they were there. Let me say this. So it's definitely its own fact.
Yeah,
they were there. The gangsters were already there. The difference was they didn't have the mic. They didn't have the mic. They didn't have the mic. But over time, and I think Bumpy Knuckles one time gave it's on his album, I actually think, and he gave a great assessment of what happened when the gangsters were sort of ear hustling and sort of letting the rappers sort of like think that they were something because they were pumping this lifestyle that was not a reality. And eventually the gangsters actually came in, and what we actually have is a lot of individuals that are acculturated to the streets that may or may not have done some things, and they now have the mic. But what we don't have as far as these bigger companies and stuff is that balance. There's so many dope rappers out there that are rhyming about all kinds of things. And I wanted to say this last thing really quick. I got out of production and let everybody out of their contracts, everything that I was working on, the films I was scoring, all that stuff. 2014, I walked away. And I want to tell you the reason I walked away. What I realized was, just like Bishop said a little while ago, I ain't no thug, okay? I don't have none of that in me. I grew up in the projects. I was raised in the hood, but even then I'm walking through the hood with a violin. They're like, this kid is weird, like, what is he doing? And most of the drug dealers and the heroin addicts back then, they protected me. I could go in
here, bro.
a lot of different hoods, and they're like, oh, he's the kid who does music. Let him, nobody touch him. But this is the one thing that I realized as I got a little older, and I want to say this just in light of what happened to P&B. and XXL did a write-up, if anybody can see it, and they said it's upwards of 90 rappers that have
Right.
been murdered.
Exactly.
And
Oh wow.
and what they don't discuss is all of the producers, like myself, all of the different people, the
Yeah, Measure
intangibles
J.
that are getting shot, the studios being shot up. I can't tell you if you had Travis Cherry on here right now. I used to go down there to Atlanta all the time and work with him. The last people that we was working with was Akon and Akon's wife and the artists that they had. We had to monitor how we came to the studio because the studios kept getting shot up, literally. So the violence has always been prevalent, but what made me go, you know what, I'm done. What I realized was my stress levels had me thinking that I had to be something I wasn't. And literally, now I'm coming to the studio and now I got to think, you know, as Rob talks about what I might have to possess just to go to work, you know, just to come in and engineer a session, just to come in and mix your music or produce like I have to worry about my livelihood. And when I let everything go, we had just did a record with Little Scrappy. And, you know, he did the record. We went down there, shot the video and everything with the artist I was working with. The artist got mad at someone else and then threatened to shoot up my house. Threatened to shoot up my house because he asked me my opinion about the situation. I said, yo, bro, you wrong. you just, what you did wasn't business. Man, F that, man. I don't care about those contracts, blah, 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 blah. You know, and he started barking at me. But when I realized I had to let it all go, when he said he was coming to shoot up the house, I sent him the address. And I just said to him, you know, if you feeling that good, come on. And I made the call that I had to make, but then I realized, like, wait a minute, like,
why do I gotta take myself there?
Bingo.
Why do I gotta take myself there? Look, let me tell you something, yo.
Over something shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. Like it is
once you over your once you over your like you know your late 30s and you hitting them 40s, yo, niggas, motherfuckers is just trying to cruise. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is just trying to cruise. They're trying to make some money. They're trying to do it right and just cruise. But these cats come around here, man, and they do this. You know, you know, I love hip hop, man. You know, I love it. I love it. And I probably listen to shit that y'all cats probably don't even like listen to. I like to listen to some of these young cats.
Me too.
But the thing about it is that I don't get a chance to see these cats grow. That's what I enjoy about music. That's what I enjoy about hip hop.
Their evolution,
I enjoy about the evolution of an artist. I don't get to, you know what I'm saying? Like to be honest, I was never really on Nipsey Hussle until he died. And I was like, who is this cat everybody talking about? And so then I was like, oh, let me go back.
See why.
So now I see why cats are on them like that. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of young cats that are dying, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even exactly, like, I don't even get to, you know, cats are like, yo, who it is? I'm like, who the hell is this cat? I don't even know who the hell the fuck is this. And I want to know who these dudes are, you know, because I just love the music like that. But it's a shame because there's no fucking damn, there's no meat there.
It's disheartening. Like when we were walking in the bridge on Sunday, there was a young cat. He had to be like 17, 18 years old. And he threw an apple and hit someone's car.
Yeah.
And then he threw up, like, just throwing water bottles and trash. I was like, I yelled across the street, like, yo, stop. And he went off on me. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to do this with you. Just carry on about your business. And Tico yells, we know your mom. We're going to tell you. We're going to tell her. Because he was about that age. Like, we probably do know his mother. But it's just a disregard for any type of authority, any type of respect for, you have to have respect for yourself first, right? So it's systemic. It's all part of this big ball of lack of education, lack of opportunity, lack of representation. Like it's all part of that, right?
It's also
That
it's also about believing the bullshit though, Keish. Because what we got to understand is this right here. As violent as the most violent rap song is,
Mhm.
it's just as violent as Predator or
Yeah, you're right.
Rambo
You're right. You're
or
right. But I don't even think they believe that. I think
Right.
that, but I agree with you. But what I'm saying is because I have the privilege of both parents, because or a male influence and a strong female influence, because I have the privilege of education, because I have the privilege of people teaching me emotional fucking intelligence.
Mhm.
I have all of those things. I can sit down and look at a fucking slasher movie marathon, or I can listen to 10 albums of the most violent shit ever. You
Right.
can't tell me nothing because I already respect myself and I already have those things that a lot of kids for generations now, because the parents that didn't have that shit are now raising kids that have even fucking less of it.
Right.
My son is a rapper. He's on his way home from work last night and he sent a video and there was like a random rap session going on in the parking lot. So of course he pulls over. He tells me where he is. I said, be careful out there because there's fucking shooters out there.
Mhm.
Haha, but for real. He was like, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm about to I can stay here like 2 minutes and I'm on my way home. Cause that's how concerned I am. Cause it's just they just like happen to dev. They just pop off for some shit that really isn't pop offable at all. And then
But the thing
bodies
about
in the wake.
but the thing about it though, Key, it's always been that way. But the thing about
It
it is that
hasn't.
we
It
everybody
hasn't,
had
TK.
everybody has phones now and everybody can fucking, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm
Can,
saying,
you know what I'm saying?
like back in the day, there would be beef, but you would have to worry about stepping out of the way if the fight came your way, like with fists. Now, every kid has a fucking gun. Like
Like,
that's
there's a
what
lot of
my kids
suckers out
assume.
there. There's a lot
There
of
are,
suckers
and there
out
always have been suckers. There's always one or two compared to half the fucking crowd. There's a huge difference now. There's a huge difference now. Like if some shit pop off, we might go. We probably won't go too far away because we want to see what the fuck's going on.
I had
Right
I had
now,
to
there's a threat of you dying if you
I,
don't move the fuck out of the way.
I
Away,
had
away.
I feel you, Key. I feel you, Key, because you giving your opinion from your
My
point of
motherly
view
view.
and from where you from and from how you brought up. But that's not how I was brought up, yo. It was always gunshots always fired around where I was from.
Mhm.
Don't forget that, you know what I'm saying? Just because I scream Travis Hype, man, I scream that shit, but I live that shit for real. Like, you know, there was a time when cats was, you know, it was no joke around here. And and it's amazing because just like, you know, said Dev, uh cats knew 'cause before I was an artist. I'm still an artist. I draw. I was tagging. I was doing graffiti. I was doing all that type of stuff. And what I wanted to do was go to Disney, and I wanted to draw for, you know what I'm saying. I wanted to draw cartoons for
He was
Disney.
gonna draw dicks at Disney.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's exactly what it is because everybody knows that Disney cartoons are full of dicks and pussies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
You
my
know what I'm saying? And Ren and Stimpy, and you know what I'm saying, all your cartoons. Just look and you'll see a dick, and you know what I'm saying, Family Guy, balls on the bottom of the chin. But that's a whole nother story. So you know what I'm saying, because I was going through puberty.
There's a guy out
Anyway,
there that looks
so
like Peter Griffin with the cleft in
exactly.
his chin, and he's crying right now because you just
Exactly.
said that.
So anyway, so that's what I wanted to do, and cats knew that, and cats wouldn't allow me to be on a corner with them, or you know what I'm saying. I thought that shit was fascinating because cats was making money. And I was
Facts.
like, yo, let me go ahead and you know what I'm saying. They were
Right.
like, nah, what you need? You need
Right.
art shit. You need fucking pencils, pads, and shit. I would get my Christmas would be fucking lovely because you know, cats from the neighborhood would just look out for me and try to keep me, you know what I'm saying, out of that bullshit.
Yeah.
You know
Tico,
what I'm saying?
Tico,
But
Tico.
that's
Hold on. I got a question for Tico.
Yeah.
And it's a question for everybody because what you just brought up, okay, is the hood. Yeah, it's the community and it's the hood checks and balance. Okay, and it's a hood checks and balance.
Thank you, Perry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
It was targeted.
Yeah, exactly. But let me just ask this, okay? That was the hood's checks and balance when I was growing up, when all of us was growing up. Okay, where does that same hood checks and balance exist?
It still exists. It still exists. It's absolutely existing. What it is just right here. You just got to be like, you know what I mean? As an example on my side or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not too long ago, me and my pop had a talk. And I just found out that all through the 80s, my pop sold coke. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know this. I thought he worked third shift. He sold coke the whole time. Okay.
That Bishop, that was working third shift.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? But it was,
shift.
but it was a situation where it was respect. Right. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Even, you know what I'm saying? When me coming up, even with, you know what I'm saying, my kids and everything like that, it's like you as the, you know what I'm saying, as a father figure in the hood and everything like that, you hold yourself to a certain demeanor, right? You have to say, you know what I'm saying, when you get to a certain spot, I don't rock with the young boys. I'm an old head now. I don't rock with the young boys. And you keep yourself in that area and you check things as you go. A lot of us, what we don't do, we don't visit our problems. You know what I'm saying? You don't do this right here. You look for the crowd, right? You got a problem with a person. What I've always saw was this right here. If I have a problem with Tico, I don't have my problem with Tico or straight to tape where everybody can see it. You know what I do? I take Tico over to a phone booth and I talk to Tico in the phone booth. And me and him have an issue. We fight in the phone booth in the dark by ourselves, right? And then what you realize is this right here. When you take the spectacle away from it, the energy changes.
Yep.
The energy changes.
And that spectacle is exponentially increased with social media.
Right.
Because people like, what's that? Like one of the very first Vine or whatever, do it for the gram. You ain't gonna do what that is just people do shit specifically. People do fuck shit specifically for social media nowadays.
You know, it's that quick flip. Go ahead, Dev. It's that quick flip, right? Dev. Go ahead, Dev.
I definitely want to get Dev in because while at the beginning of Bishop's explanation, I did see Dev shake his head. So I did. I want to get your reason. Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, when I listen to what Bishop was saying, it makes sense. The only thing for me is when we were younger, we understood that a lot of those codes were technically universal.
Right.
Technically universal. So basically, if you was in New Rochelle and I could walk to the Bronx, we did all of the hip hop stuff. I mean, we didn't call it hip hop. Honestly, we were doing it. This was before hip. We didn't call it hip hop. It was just part of the culture. We learned that it was hip hop and everything else. But I say that to say this: if I went to Brooklyn, and I used to be in Philly all the time. By the way, I used to love going to Philly.
Congratulations.
And that was one of my spots, man. You know, I mean, I can't tell you where we were, but we were out there, you know, hanging out. You know, nobody ever bothered us. But again, we also knew how to move. You know what I mean? It was just certain things. You know, I think when people, I don't want to get sidetracked, but I think when people are talking about checking in, I think checking in back in the day was very simply more the codes were universal. So you knew if you were going into a certain spot, you already knew you better know somebody in that area before you go. But I think what's happened is so much that we call hip hop is really, like we say it's hip hop music, but in my opinion, it's rap music. And there's a clean difference in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And
exactly.
I think hip hop culture is nomadic now. And everything is thrown in as hip hop, but everything is not hip hop. And the way it translates
Truth.
The way it translates to sort of like when I take my sons to the hood and when I drop my son off to play basketball in the hood, and when I taught my oldest son how to play basketball, I took him to the hood. It was two things that was happening there. One, everything that I hadn't told him at that time about my experiences, he's seen it in real time. He's like, what? You know, they out here tripping. They threatening to shoot. They about to go to the bag. And I'm like, He's like, "You're not tripping." I'm like, "Nah," because he's just running his mouth. That one right there, you got to watch. The one who didn't say anything is who got the gun.
That's the one.
Yeah.
that got the gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one who didn't
Yeah.
say a word, that's who got the gun. That's his man. And so the attention is here, but the bang is going to come. He's like, "How do you know all of this?" "Well, let's go home." And I took him to New York. We're right there in the projects. Matter of fact, when people were like wondering like about New Rochelle has technically 3 hoods, but we're surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes and people. It's just a really weird place. But in the 70s, it was one of the biggest heroin hubs for New York. Most people don't know that. Grand Puba's house, Grand Puba's building was there. My family's building was 2 buildings over 51. He was right up the hill. Me and Lord Jamal, he's still one of my big bros. I mean, I used to walk to his house and with my little beat machines and stuff like that, trying to learn, just young in the whole shebang. But even when I went through the different hoods, I knew where I was. Now it's to the point where, and this is just my opinion, and if I offend anybody, I'm sorry. We didn't have, even though there was a drug culture outside of hip hop, it wasn't in hip hop and rap music. It's not the drug culture that we see now, which is internal, external.
Exactly.
Everybody's high, everybody's drugged up, everybody's out of their friggin' mind, everybody's mushroom. Back in the day, weed was like the biggest thing, like, oh wow, they smoking the weed, And if somebody had a woolly or was sniffing coke, you're like, yo, dude, what are you doing?
Don't fuck with him. Yeah.
What you doing? And popping pills. We never heard of nothing like what. Who pops pills? Like,
Cats trying to live a rock star life, man, but they, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's crazy. They try to live a rock star life, man, and sad.
But look how it's affecting us now, because
of course
we're at a point now where what do we really define as like as the brother said a little while ago, like the rule makers. All of the old heads got locked up. All of those gang leaders from the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of them got locked up and murdered. And what you saw was when New York got hit with this whole wave of Crips and Bloods, it was so foreign to me because I'm like,
where's this coming from?
Like,
you had disciples.
And then they buried one little brother. I'll never forget this. And they had him in a blue casket, dressed in blue. And I'm sitting up here like, yo, what is this? Is not what we do. But then I had to keep in mind all of those RICO laws, all of that crack, all of the social things, all of the things that they pulled away. They shut down all of the funding for the boys club, the summer youth, the programs. What the f are the kids going to do?
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Nothing.
And then ultimately we see the byproduct of it now. And now it's like, I'm on it like, yo, I don't care if you just have to find one young brother or one young sister. You gotta mentor some. You have to. You gotta do it.
True.
And those kids are now raising the kids of today.
Yeah.
Those kids that didn't have those youth programs when they took it away, and all of those other things that you said, they are now raising the kids of today that neither one of them have like any.
Yeah, but Dev, even when you bring up Rico, okay, it's still you still go back to that gatekeeper time, okay, because you got I mean, think about it, okay, before crack, all right, it was heroin, okay, and there was a gatekeeper hierarchy as it related to the streets. Crack broke that down. However, even in some instances, you still had that gatekeeper style of hierarchy. Okay, my mom, God bless her soul. My mom was close to Fat Cat Nichols and his family. Okay. This was around the same time as Supreme, and the Supreme team. It rolled different on the way it was set up. When that was broken down, it broke down it broke down that hierarchy in the street.
It's like a free for all now.
Yeah, which
Ah.
led.
Because like I said,
which
it's like
led-
it's
which
like it was
led to your
targeted
blood
then.
and
There were
guts.
rules,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
There
Yeah.
were rules to the street. There were rules to street life.
I
Like if
think
some
but-
also
there-
too it's like this. Like what ruined the hood was this right here. Like I think if the government would have kept the same programs in place,
What?
and the crack epidemic
part of
would have not been what it was. Like if you still could get I remember being able to pull up, you know what I'm saying, in Philly, and they come with the box truck with the free lunches on it. You know what I'm saying, for the kids for the summer. And I remember them being able to activate the school where you could go to the gym during the afternoon. All the kids could go to the gym, and the gym teacher at the school would pretty much be like, all right, y'all can come in here and have gym during the summer during a couple of hours and they shut all that down. And what it does is this right here. When you have if we had those things with the crack epidemic, then I think things will look a little different, right?
Let me tell you
But it's-
something, Bishop. Let me tell you, man. Cats is making okay. I feel you on that because
Mhm.
you know, like I said, I was in Chavis Heights back. I stayed right across the street from the center. You know what I'm saying? Chavis Heights Center. So in the summer times we had baseball. Everybody had baseball teams. You didn't have the only thing that your mom had to pay for was probably like some cleats and your uniform, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You were good. You know what I'm saying, for traveling and eating and all that stuff. You know, they took all these programs away. Basketball season, cats did basketball. Same thing, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Gentlemen's Club, you know what I'm saying, with the purple and the gold. Anyhow, so
sponsoring
you know what I'm
shit.
saying? So
Jesus.
so exactly. So they took away those programs, but yet and still cats are making so much money now that we shouldn't have to worry about public assistance to come to do these aids. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As much as I'm seeing cats out here building, they're like, yeah, we making money. You can make money doing this. You can make money doing that. Then we need to. There's a time and a place when we need to take responsibility and just stop talking about shit and start doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck your fucking charity show. The only person that I've ever seen out here that's doing it for the community, and I'm just talking about me personally because you know what I'm saying, I'm not stalking everybody out there, but the only person I've seen that's out here that's going back to the community that's done that shit is Snoop. Snoop goes back, he plays football, he has a whole football team, he brings whole, you know what I'm saying? He does that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what everybody else does, and if I offend you, if I don't know, then I apologize. But you know,
there are a few, but yeah, they're not nearly enough.
not
doing
nearly
that, but there
enough.
are a few more. Yeah,
But there are enough there's enough motherfuckers out here and enough money out here that we can sit out here and get these kids in a summer program, and they don't have and the parents don't have to worry about having to pay this shit and that shit for cups, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And because that's what it's about. Because motherfuckers out here is hurting. They hurting. But if you take that energy, you take that raw energy and you direct it towards something else, you know what I'm saying? There's no telling what's going to happen. Just give motherfuckers a chance, man.
Yeah.
Nobody has a chance.
So conversation, several minutes. I want to go back to, I want to talk about PNB Rocket. We're talking about like being in the hood and the modern, thing about sharing your location and this, that, and the third. And a lot of people on social media blame the young lady for sharing the location, but then it came out that he actually shared the location first.
Yeah.
So I mean, and going back to something that I think Bishop alluded to, like, you just, I mean, it's not even really about sharing location. It is, but it isn't. It's like you just can't be in some hoods being who you are and having what you have. He had to be smarter than that.
Right.
If he shared his location first,
yeah.
and if he was in this particular Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles,
By
even if
himself.
he was dressed down, you know what I'm saying? Some people just can't be out there in certain environments just because of who they are and what they do talk about.
But what I'm
understand
saying though is like this. It's like this because with PMB, because I've heard some of his music. You know,
Hold
what I'm
that thought, P.
saying? It's
No,
on.
go ahead.
It's on It's on a wave of just I'm a fly dude, right? Okay,
Flossy.
it's flossy, right? But again, if you're in a place and you're in a muted, if I'm in a Nike sweatsuit and I don't look like food, like it's like this, I don't have my accoutrement on, I don't have, you know what I'm saying, $1,000 worth of jewelry on. All I got is my credit card, homie. You know what I'm saying? If I look like all I got, I'm only playing with my credit card, I'm not paying with a bunch of cash, then it's like this. Even though cats want to get me, they're not going to come get me because it's not going to be worth it. Because I don't have anything you can take off of me right now. Now, what I was alluding to is then we get into the point of the whole Empire Records stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on with the Empire Records situation where their artists are dying at a quip that's a little bit more aggressive than anybody else.
Well, I'll be damn.
Exactly.
What's up, Pete?
Exactly.
Okay, and I'm glad Bishop brought that point up, and it's kind of with the point that you were making, okay? Because I want to take this to an industry view, okay? Has, is part of the reason why you were seeing this happen, does it have anything to do with the deterioration or in some cases the complete removal of the A&R? The A&R's, remember, the A&R's responsibility was to, one of the main responsibilities of A&R was to teach your artist how to move. Okay. To teach your artists not to put themselves into this type of situation, because at the bottom line, you're supposed to be around to make money.
Why do that? Why do that when I do that when I can easily slip you up? Why do that? That's like hip hop. It used to be a DJ, a rapper, some dancers, and probably some motherfucker out there spray painting on the motherfucking side, or probably did some shit, right? So the motherfucking company was like, "Oh, this hip hop shit can make some fucking change." You know what? You really don't need these motherfucking graffiti artists and shit, because we got this fucking computer shit that can fucking damn, and all we need is a black ending. Hold on, Pete. And so then the motherfuckers were like, you know what, Bray? You can save a little bit of money. You don't need these motherfucking dancers no more. You know what I'm saying? Because the videos and shit, y'all thugged
people
out
don't dance
anyway,
no more.
so they don't need y'all motherfucking niggas don't dance no more. So fuck it. Hey, you know what? You don't even need a DJ no more, because of these DAT machines and shit. You can put your whole show on the motherfucking
plug your
DAT
phone
machine
up
and plug your shit up and do your whole shit.
Yeah.
Why? Why put the A&R up in there, the motherfucker, to do that shit when it's supposed to be? It's like you're right, like Pete. It's supposed, I think it's to be standard. You know what I'm saying, to do so. But why do that when you could so easily stumble up on so many motherfuckers?
But Tico, you just brought up another point as it relates to the cutback. Okay, why in this day and age, why have the A&R department when we can sign you based off of the following that you've already built on social media?
Yep. And put in your contract, you have to do so many brand social media posts per day, per week.
Which cuts
cuts the budget a third of it. Because that's not only A&R, it's advertising, marketing,
but
all right there.
But it also
they have no more about that than I do.
But it also strips away. It also strips away the teaching. It strips away the way the teaching. It goes back again, on the how you move. Dev, did you look like you wanted to pump that?
I'm listening, and my brain is sort of tying everything Bishop just said to what you're alluding to about the A&R. But the only thing that I think might be still missing is the fact that all of the same social ills that were already there still exist.
Absolutely.
But how does it tie into why these individuals are now doing what they're doing? At one time, you had to have talent.
Right.
And the A&R of course, to your point, they might have had some type of grooming department or somebody to sort of help these artists, learn the etiquette of how to speak, how to talk to the media, and how you carry yourself.
I haven't heard of that level of grooming since fucking Motown. Like, I don't think A&R like in the hip hop era or whatever, in beginning in the 80s maybe.
No,
They
It
really
was happening.
groom 'em like
It was
that?
happening then. It was happening then.
Listen to
No,
LL Cool J. Listen to
Yeah.
LL Cool J interviews. Listen to all these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, the thing is, even if we're not necessarily looking at the way they speak or talk, at the end of the day, the contracts that they were dealing with were way bigger back in the day because there was physical sales.
Yep.
Right.
So at that point, if some of the artists that we were dealing with, when they got their contracts, their budgets were like 10 and 15 times what we're seeing now. But of course, it was physical sales. But also in those clauses or whatever it was that they wanted those artists to do, the artists had more to lose.
Right.
Now, because you don't necessarily need talent, and that's just a fact. Now it's based more on your popularity. Plus, to what Tico was saying, at one time, it's almost like a house. Just think about, your home, and let's just say you've got three different faucets in your home, three or four faucets in your home. Each faucet represented a different side of the musical aspect of the culture. What they did two things that really hurt, in my opinion, hurt the culture. The first thing they did was all that clear channel bullshit, and they made it where the one playlist is now going to be from New York to California. This is the main playlist that most of the clear channel are going to use. And what it was twofold. It wasn't just the A&Rs at that point. Now it's whatever the trend is, or the secular trend at that time musically, whatever they're doing musically. Now this is where it's at, and this is where the money's at. They cut off the faucets. So let's just say, Keisha, you were doing hardcore hip hop. Tico was doing, something more Kendrick Lamar-ish, and then let's just say Perry was doing
He doing light skin rap. He doing light
you know,
Really? Really?
I love
Really?
LL Cool J type
light skin
thing.
rap. Yeah, he doing light skin
Yeah.
rap.
Now, when they cut off all of those different faucets, and the only thing that we're drinking out of, the new artists that is the hardcore. Now, everybody's trying to be hardcore. Everybody's selling these dreams about what they've seen and what they've done in the streets. It was dangerous when those playlists got shrunk, and when those companies came in and said, you know what? No, we're going to play this right here. And now it's even more dangerous because when I think about what are them kids called, the Island Boys? What are they, the Island Boys? Whatever.
Island Boys.
The Island Boys. I saw a video of them the other day, and they were tatted from here all the way down, pants sagging below their butts, wearing these hairstyles that are technically African in some way, shape, or form. And all I can say is, like, if I didn't know that more music was out there and more culture was out there, because music's only one part of it, I'd be like, the hell with all of that. Just F it. Like, the hell with it. I'm done.
I'm gonna go listen to Kenny G.
Yeah, let's go back to some Kenny G. You know what I'm saying? Or give me some Herb Allen or something else.
Yeah.
But I think moving forward, I'm really pushing that we don't necessarily at all look to those who have made it to do the work that we can do. And we need to understand that the culture, regardless if we see it or not, the bastardized versions of hip hop, it's still a part of our culture. It's still us, even though we don't claim it. Even though we don't claim the rap and certain things that are happening, it's a derivative of something that wasn't gatekept and taken care of.
But you know where they get it from.
Yeah, we've always had bastardized hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this. It was a part of it. It's just like you said. Is when we got the clear radio when it stopped being that diversity on the radio. Because remember, we was out here listening to Your Mama's on Crack Rock, Doodoo Brown, and all that, Vanilla Ice, and then we
put it in your mouth.
but we had Woo too. You know what I'm saying?
But I think, but yeah, you have teenage, early 20s kids, right? So,
one of my sons is a rapper now.
So you don't think they find that music, and that's how I know about it. But they find that music. I think it's that your backpack. I'm talking in golden era language. Your backpackers, your conscious rap. That's always been, and it's never really been on the radio. It might have been a little bit more during our time, but really not. It had to be something super hot with some shit you could dance to for it to be on the radio. But for the most part,
for the most part
that the music that we listen to, the music that bonds the five of us, sorry Bishop, but the music that bonded the five of us, you're a little young, but it wasn't on the radio. We had to go seek it out. And so once you pop the cap and once you're in those spaces, it just perpetuates, right? And you find more and more and more. I still think that circumstance exists with our kids and Bishop's generation, whatever.
But exactly. But you can't.
But it's still there. So when people our age say it just doesn't exist, it's all about one thing or another. No, those faucets are still on.
Right.
No. Whoa.
Go ahead, D.
No. The culture is still on.
Yeah.
But as far as those faucets, which is pushing what people think is the culture, they cut a lot of that. The funding is gone. And let me say something to your point, Keish, just to sort of piggyback on what you said. I remember the first time I heard Public Enemy, the rhythm, I'm like, what the is this? And I'm coming off of hearing EPMD.
But you also lived in New York. Like we grew up here. And it's the big, humongous difference radio-wise.
But the reason
and Dev, I apologize for just cutting you off right there. Just with Key and Key, even then, and even in being in NY, okay, even with the Public Enemies and the EPMDs, okay, and I'll even mention the raw bases. A lot of that stuff, even within radio in New York, especially in the late 80s, was not getting played during regular rotation. And not only was it getting played on the weekends.
I blame
mix shows.
On the mix shows. Yeah.
When you had De La Soul drop, and then you had the Tribe, and then you had Moni Love and all these other artists. Once they figured out, they saw MC Hammer, NWA was already there. Once they figured out, wait a minute,
we can make some
this
money.
gangster rap thing, they shut the other forces off, and then they truncated the way that the marketing, and we all seen it. I mean, I know I'm probably the oldest on here, if not one of, because me and Tico like side by side. That's my guy. You know what I mean? But I remember writing diss songs because I used to rhyme back in the day. Me and Mike, we had a rap group, and we was dissing Biggie. We was literally writing diss songs, dissing Biggie. We loved him. He was one of my favorite artists. But I'm like, yo, Biggie, like, all right, you sold your drugs now, but yo, what you gonna write about for? I was pro-black, and mighty conscious and the chew sticks and everything. Well, you got to do something for the community. But all of that stuff, as it started winding,
Dev was a hotel.
I was
one of the originals. Right.
I was Mr. Hotep. I was Mr. Chew Stick. Burn your incense. Wear some oils. Don't eat. The white man is that. I was all that. You know what I mean?
I was too, bro. I was too.
Yeah. My man. I
don't know if I never saw you with a chew stick, Rob.
Yeah, we all.
Yes,
Rob?
I did.
No, please, Rob.
Yes.
Rob?
I had the chew sticks on deck.
My stomach turned.
Thinking about that nigga nickname was Groot.
I am Groot. I am Groot. Hey, Dad, do you remember that time you made prison tuna casserole in my dorm room?
What I think?
You and your friends were over there. Y'all made prison tuna casserole in my dorm room.
Yo, let me tell you something. I'm not going to talk about the NC State days because I was young once, and I plead the 9th, the 5th, the 40th, 7th. I don't know nothing. I
don't know nothing.
I remember we spent a lot of time in NC State when we were younger.
Yeah, they did.
Hey, yo, Dad, let me ask you a question.
NC
Did
State
you have the
was
chew
dope.
stick? Did you have the chew stick with the sugar cane,
Man,
the raw sugar cane?
Big afro, and might have on a pair of Air Force Ones. It was all the contradictions you can have. You know what I mean? All of the hypocrisy in one outfit. But you know, when you're young,
hypocrisy.
It was super hypocrisy, just like our music and just like some aspects of our culture.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason why there's grace in what we're seeing. But I think the real work is, for me, I think the real work is really attacking these issues on the other side of things. But we don't have we're not uniform in any way. So anything right now can come in and be disguised as our culture.
Right.
We don't even know who the agents are. We don't know, like when
who putting these freaking memes out here, right?
It happens.
Right.
I believe they are. I think some of these people have been targeted, and it's nothing personal. I think that it's a money game. Biggie, Tupac, their murders are unsolved. Jam Master Jay, his murder is unsolved. PNB at this point, his murder is unsolved. The gentleman that got killed in Greece, that got stabbed, yeah, they caught his murderer, but they're saying that he was targeted. Something is happening when you say, you know, rappers are in danger. I actually think the whole culture's in danger, in one light. We are not respectfully trying to have some type of rallying call. I know there's not going to be any bylaws. I know it's all a dream at this point for hip hop, but something has to give, because my 20-year-old that's rhyming, he already knows. Like, you could do all that young stuff and all that stuff and all that, do it all, but you're gonna pay that old to the culture. So he writes from both perspectives, but he also has a father, he has a family and an extended family that's put expectations on his creativity. Period. You can't just do it one way because you didn't learn it one way, and you see the effects of, if all you're doing is popping pills and you trying to get women high and all this other stuff, and you trying to be a thug and all, there's no winning in that.
But do you really think all that's really going on?
Do I think all of what is really going on?
The pill popping and the
let me tell you
drugging, and
I'm gonna tell you something from 1998. There was more drugs in and out of those studios than we'll ever talk about. So do I really think it was happening? What I think is, a lot of companies were the playground to clean money for a lot of drug deals and a lot of drug culture. And if I got money and I'm putting it behind this artist, but now you see it on some of the shows, but it actually did happen that way. For when we had beatvault.com, we were one of the first hip hop websites probably set up in the nation. And a lot of the underground rappers used to come and rhyme over our beats. And it's like a deep backstory behind it. But I'm gonna tell you something. We was offered $100,000 cash just so this one individual could partner with us for Beat Vault and Nebulous. We were doing the mixtapes at the time, and we were just cutting these mixtapes and bringing everybody together, doing our thing. I said to the dude right off the gate, no. I was like, no, we're not taking the money. He's like, no, that's just pretty much, that's the seed. And I'm going to make sure that the checks are going to come at this. I'm legitimate. But I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I didn't know if he was legitimate or not, but he couldn't explain to me simply, did that 100,000 come from contracting? Did that 100,000 come from an investment? Where'd it come from, homie? Now, let me tell you how much time he's doing right now in the feds. 47 years. Let me tell you what his killer's doing. His killer's doing like 52 years. And offline, if we all talk, I'll tell you who these people are, and you're going to be like, get the hell out of here. Because all of it's connected. So do I think it's going on? I think anytime you have I used to like micromanage and run some clubs in the Greensboro area. It's happening. I don't know if it's happening in certain frequencies anymore because I'm older now and I'm not out. But what I do know is one of my children, I have adopted children. One of my children is in Raleigh in school. He's 14, and a little girl OD'd in the bathroom and died.
Yep.
You ain't see that on the news.
I know. I heard about it.
So this is my son now talking to me like, Dad, like, because he comes from a private school, but now he's in a public school. He's like, yo, everywhere I go, listen, you know what you have been taught. You know what the rules are, and you've been taught right. So ultimately, you still got to make decisions. It's very sad that young lady, I don't know how old she was. She was young though. She was maybe 13, 14. I don't know. She was young, but she OD'd.
Right.
And so when we're listening to this music, and 90% of these new rappers, they'll tell you straight up, I'm high. You know, I'm drugged up. I'm popping pills. So for the child that might not have a hip hop mom or a hip hop dad or a bishop, what happens to them?
Right.
And we're not just talking about the hood. See, because in the hood, make no mistakes about it.
Absolutely.
The drug dealers got that cousin that'll wear your ass out if he finds out you using drugs.
Exactly.
Got that same auntie that'll take you up and bust your ass if she finds out you using drugs. But what about those children that are looking in and thinking that this is the way to go? What about them children that are hurting internally? What about those children that hear the music and just like when we were growing up, music was the soundtracks of our lives. There's certain records we can play right now. It'll take you back in time. They're having the same experience, except they're being told to use the drugs.
Hey, Dad, let's talk.
You better not smoke no weed.
Let's talk about the fact is that we got to, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we got to speak about the entertainment part of rap, you know, because it was a point, and I think from about 2007, where everybody was on lean and doing all this crazy stuff, and the rapper, it was like, yo, and it was saying these fantastical things like, yo, like in Philly, you know what I'm saying, and Rob could probably do this, pancakes and syrup. That's Percocet and codeine.
Wow.
It's like this. That shit will kill you. Will fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
he done died twice. He done died twice.
Yeah, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? God save me. But listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm Christian now. But you know what I'm saying? But it's like this. If you don't do that in the right, if you don't space that out correctly, it will kill you in the same night that you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And but then you get Wayne, you get these cats like, yo, I pop red pills, I pop blue pills. Da, da, da. Like, first of all, you are this rapper is saying this is pretty much what's the Johnny Depp joint, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. You're doing Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas amounts of drugs your first time out. You know what I mean? You're doing everything. You can't do everything. That movie, that's a movie. These rappers are rapping about that movie is because it sounds cool. It sounds cool. It's kind of like Eminem coming out saying, "Hi kids, you like violence? Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails to each one of my eyelids?" He would be blinded if he did such a thing. It just sounds cool because it raps together with violence.
It's just entertainment. It's just entertainment.
It's just entertainment. And these kids are taking because hip hop is the only genre that people say, oh, this has to be real. No, country music, like I'm saying, I don't know how many times Garth Brooks has lost his pickup truck. I don't know how many times Tim McGraw's dog has died. He don't have that many goddamn dogs.
You're
this
right.
woman ain't left him. He been with the same woman for the last 35 years. The bitch ain't left yet.
The keep it real, the keep it real at the birth of hip hop is going to be what kills hip hop. If it ever dies.
It's not gonna die.
There it is.
There it is. Look, man, look, that was a great conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And and I'm glad, but you know something, I'm glad we've had the opportunity to have this conversation. You know what I mean? And Rob, I'm so glad you were able to make it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really am.
Yeah,
I really am. I'm happy to have you
I know
here.
y'all were worried about me, man. Just full
I was.
disclosure, y'all.
I was genuinely worried.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, because they were texting me and I wasn't answering, and I woke up to all of these text messages. I was like, oh snap. I was straight knocked out. For just full disclosure, y'all. Full disclosure. I've never done that in the history of Straight to Tape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was on the couch, mouth just slobbering, knocked out, and woke up and just happened to check my text, and not even realizing I was supposed to be on the air when I woke up.
Still,
I just
you
woke
ain't
up
you
and
ain't woke up all the way. You thought it was
right.
tomorrow.
I woke up and instinctively just started scrolling through my oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my bad. Some of the guys in the commission were checking on me, you know what I'm saying? Burke texted me like, yo, you supposed to be on, man. You good? So man, yeah. I was out, man. So my bad.
That's why we need. Hey Rob, that's why we need to get house phones again. You know what I'm saying? So that way you
hello? Right. That loud ass ring.
You can't turn ain't no ringer off. It's gonna ring. If they call
That's really what it is, Raj. Recovering from the what goes on at the ranch, stays at the ranch.
Yeah,
but
stays at the ranch. Yeah. But look, but bro, I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everyone was, joined us on on an important and insightful conversation that we had this evening. Okay, Dev, the camera's off.
Dev just ran away. He was like, "Yo, I'm out."
Dev said, "Fuck y'all."
Like,
streets is watching, son.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Yo, Dev, do you have? Look, man. What do you have anything that's coming up that you can share publicly
with people?
Well,
with the people.
I have been out of the game since 14, and then there's an artist by the name of Jamel who actually is signed, but I decided to work with him as well as sort of help my son. A lot of people don't know it, but I've been consulting producers for years. Two of the producers that I consult, one is Ism Beats, and he's doing it all. I mean, he's doing it. And then the other one is Tips Beats, and he just got his first placement actually not too long ago. And I was never a known producer. I was always with the producers, cutting a lot of records and not getting a lot of.
You're a ghost producer.
Yeah, but I was there. I was present, and a lot of people are now starting to understand, and they're starting to find out the journey. So in that light, that's happening. But I mean, I had got out and got into logistics and stuff like that. And then, sort of stayed with the photography and videography, which came out of being a producer who always had cameras in the studio. So
Dev, look, me and Dev go way back. Like I used to, like like at St. Aug, like I had a Grand Dam, like a Burgundy Grand Dam. You know what I'm saying? And we used to go to my car. We used to listen to beats. We used to trade off on beats and shit like that right there, and just start rhyming and shit.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That is bugged out, man.
A lot of those rappers I was working with before they became famous, and P Batters. I mean, I got him on videotape rhyming in the dorm room. He didn't even have hair on his face.
I got the St. Aug talent show joint with him.
Oh, I gotta see that. Please let me check that out. And I do want to digitize them. I want to say one thing, and I'm gonna shut up. North Carolina was such a culture shock for me that I wanted to get the hell out of here. I mean, within the first 3 months of me being here, I was like, North Carolina is one of the most violent places on this earth. Mom, I'm coming home. Come get me. What the hell is going on out here? And it was such a culture shock. And like he said, in Durham with his chains, we were walking to get something to eat at Bojangles. Dude walked out by the community center, walked up on me. It was me and two young ladies. We were just walking to get some Bojangles. He said, man, I ain't even want to do it to you. But y'all need to go on and turn around and walk on back to that little studio. okay. And we turned around and we walked back. The whole time I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Where am I?
Seen the cops chase somebody, the car flip over. There was some shootings that took place. The crackheads were coming to the college to buy drugs.
Yep.
I was done. But
Well, if they didn't sell drugs at the college, then the crackheads wouldn't be there to buy
Everybody-
drugs.
That's besides the point. That's besides the point.
yeah, it was
Besides the
horrible.
point.
So I'm so
Everybody-
glad I made it. I'm such a proud Carolinian right now.
Yeah.
You're still here, right? And
Every-
that's
Go back.
Everybody's seen higher learning. Everybody's seen higher learning. I'm looking on that motherfucker.
I hit that motherfucker so hard, his stepmom gonna fit it for the last 3 birthdays. That's my favorite line of how I learned.
Higher learning.
All right.
Bishop.
Sure.
What you got going on? Intelligently Ratchet on tomorrow. What y'all gonna be talking about?
Listen, first of all, I want to say, forget Intelligent Ratchet. Bishop Omega has a hosting. I'm teaching.
Oh
cats to host.
yeah, the host.
I registered today.
Thank you.
I registered today.
So it's like this. If anybody, you know what I'm saying, what it is, I'm tired of, you know what I mean, when I don't host shows, right? Because I always walk into the shows, they're like, yo, Bishop, you're not hosting this show. And then I'm like, nah. And then the host be whack. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they have a host. So I wanted to do something for people that wanted to host, because I can't do this forever, right? I can't do this forever, but I want to make sure that when I leave this hosting realm, whenever I get unpopular, that we have some people out there that you can go to. And even right now, when I have to turn down shows because I can't make it out or whatever, I wanted to be quality hosting because I care about that. So I have a hosting, YB Normal hosting class where I'm gonna be pretty much doing like a TED talk about some of the experience I have as a host and trying to help new hosts out and try to get people to not to make the same mistakes that I made and also make better hosting decisions. So it's a $20 class. You know what I'm saying? October the 16th. It's going to be on StreamYard just like this. I'm going to have a closed group on StreamYard and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to answer all the questions. We're going to have a little bit of curriculum. And I'm just going to kind of speak genuinely and wholeheartedly about, you know what I'm saying, about hosting.
So but you're never leaving hosting. You're gonna follow up Drew Carey on the Price is Right.
You know what it is? I'm thinking about that. I might have to, you know what I'm saying? I might be like 60 years old out in hip hop shows, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I enjoy it. And I'm just gonna give you some pointers and tips and everything like that. Because this is stuff that I've given away for free for years. Like honestly, like $20 is a good for the knowledge that I'm about to drop on y'all, it's a small price.
And after you graduate, you get a hostess cake.
Like, no, what I want to do is this right here. I want to do this right here. If you graduate or after you take the classes and the courses, I want to be able to give you my contacts and be like, yo, here are trusted people that you could go to get your hosting. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's
dope. That's dope.
They're certified. We Bishop certified.
Bishop certified. Whatever that means.
I like that.
Hosting.
Hey, Dev, I need some free beats. I'm coming out. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming out with EP.
It's fine, man.
Dev can't fuck with you, man.
Everything under the sun. So come on.
Dev can't fuck
yawning.
with you, man.
I'm yawning.
Me and Dev.
Let's eat some food and just chill out. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's like this. I need a feature with Tico, and I think that's the only way I could get him if I get on one of your beats.
Look, me and Dev working on an album right now. You know what I'm saying? It's for tap dance and yodeling. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Price is Right.
And on that,
yeah, y'all get ready to be working on that shit by yourself because I'm ready to go to sleep again. It's the end of the show.
Look,
hey, Dev, thank you for coming through, man. You know you fan,
Thanks,
bro.
Dev. Love you.
Thank you,
I
Dev.
love you. Come through anytime.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
You have a great evening.
Used to shout you out in the comments, man, but you right here live. So, man, thank you, bro. Thank you to everybody that checked in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for supporting Straight to Tape. Y'all. P, take it away.
Rob, yes. And thank you, bro. And once again, I'm glad you're safe, bro. Rob, we were worried about you. Okay, for real. But look,
I'm good.
But look, I want to thank Deveron Benjamin coming through. Want to thank Bishop Omega for being our favorite permanent guest host and come on when we need you to come on because you won't get off my damn couch.
I will not.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in next week. Make sure you tune in next week. Next week is our 5th. 5, damn it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5th year anniversary show. We've been doing this show since September 26th of 2018. 18, 17, 18. Yeah, okay. So we've hit the 5th anniversary, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We'll probably have a special guest. We'll let y'all know. I think y'all love it. I think y'all really like it. But either way, I am so glad that we are still here and still being active and still doing what we do because, one, it's straight to tape. We love y'all. And, we're going to keep it moving, hopefully for another 5 years and such. We'll see how it goes, just in case, some people don't know how to leave the couch, Bishop. Anyway.
Oh, no, I'm taking over. After you retire, I'm gonna move right into your seat. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? They need a light skin dude with glasses in the joint. You know what I'm saying? And me and Rob could keep it down. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the Robin Bishop show. Robin Bishop show. Yeah.
Philly niggas.
You already know.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, look, straight to tape. We love you.
Wait.
What?
Lord have mercy.
Please. You know what?
Get ready to vote.
No. Say it, Keith. Say it.
Get ready to vote.
Please go to WRAL VCAs and nominate Straight to Tape for Podcast of the Year.
Podcast of the year.
Nominations ends October 9th, and then we vote. So please head over to the link. I just posted it in the comments. And scroll down to business and entertainment, then type in straight II to tape and click nominate.
Damn, that's long as shit.
No
We
doubt.
love you.
Love
That
y'all.
link is terrible looking.
Hey, yo, when y'all win, can I get on stage with y'all?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely. My bad for interrupting just then, but I just wanted to say one last thing before we bounce out. Hey Key.
Kiss my
Hey.
ass, sugar. Yes.